Hi everyone, in this video I'll be teaching you what is meant by data structure, what is meant by stack, and what are the basic operations available with the stack, and at last I'll be also teaching you how to implement the stack data structure using a Python program. So coming to the definition of data structure, we have the definition as it defines a way of storing, accessing, and manipulating the data stored. So we already know some of the basic data types: integer, float, list, tuple, or dictionary. We have the data in our hand. So now our question is how it is going to be stored in the memory and it is going to be retrieved or deleted from the memory. So we have some of the linear data structures available in order to implement or in order to store or access the data which we have. So this data structure itself is being subdivided into categories called simple data structure and compound data structure. List is an example of a simple data structure. Now coming to the compound data structure, we have linear and non-linear categories. Under linear categories, we are having stack, queue, and linked list. And now in this tutorial, we'll be seeing the complete concept of stack and also how to write a Python program in order to implement the operations which are there involved in stack. You can imagine a stack data structure as something which you are seeing on the screen, like a stack of books or stack of plates which are arranged in this particular order. In order to make you to understand this, let us take that we are going to store a set of employees record. Employee number will be one of the data with each and every employee, the designation of the employee. So we have the designation of the employee, and also we'll be having some other details like salary or whatever details which is there with each and every employee will be there. Let us say that we are storing in a form of a list. So this is one particular employee's detail. You can just imagine this book as one particular employee's detail, and each and every employee's detail is being arranged one on the top of the other. How we are going to retrieve the detail or how we are going to delete any particular detail, that is what we are going to see in this particular video. So if at all you are asked to take one book from the set of books which are arranged over here, you can take only the book which is there at the top, which is a red book in our scenario. So in the same way, when we are storing the set of employee records in the similar order, the employee record whichever was stored in newly, that will be the one which can be taken out. So with this understanding, let us go to the next slide, which is going to give you the complete understanding of all the operations which are available with the stack. So what is the manner in which the stack is being implemented? It is last in first out operation. So what is the last in first out is whatever is being inserted finally will be the one which can be taken out first. So consider these are some data which is there arranged in the stack. So when I'm inserting each and every data into the stack, I call that operation as a push. So push means whatever data, whenever I'm inserting any data into the stack, I call that particular operation as push. Whenever some element is taken out from the stack, I call that operation as a pop. So all the push and pop operation will be taking place in the top. So we will be having some terminologies which you have to remember with respect to stack. One is push, another one is pop, and we have something called top. So what is the meaning of top is, it refers to the place where the last element is being stored, or we can also tell it as refers to the index. If we are having the first element which we have stored, the index of the first element which we have stored as 0, the next element's index will be 1 and the next one will be 2. So it goes on like that. We are going to implement stack in Python in a form of a list. The list will also be having something called index. So each and every index is going to have an element. We can consider we are going to implement this stack operation in this particular list. So we will be having a pointer, a variable called top in our program, which is going to maintain the index of the newest element. The element which has been entered lastly, that index of that particular element will be maintained in the variable called top. Now let us quickly see a diagrammatic representation of how the push and pop operations are taking place. I am pushing a number 1 inside the stack. You need not assume that only the numbers will be inserted into the stack. You can consider that an employee detail is getting inserted. You can consider that a student's detail is getting inserted. So any particular object which is getting inserted, we are going to make it to be stored and accessed, which is going to have the implementation of stack. So I am pushing 1 inside and 1 is there residing at the bottom of the stack right now, and this is going to be the top element right now. This is my element available in the top and index of which is 0. Now when I'm pushing a number 2 inside, it is going to be appearing here. So this index is 0 and this index is 1. Now my top is getting incremented by 1 when I have pushed 2. So other element 3, when I have pushed, my top is getting incremented to 1. So my top index is 2 right now. This is the value of my top variable. So how can I get the value of my top variable? Can we have the value of top variable as total number of elements within the list minus 1? So that is going to give me the value of top variable. So how to find the total number of elements when we are implementing stack operation in a list? How to find the total number of elements? We are having a function called len. So len of, if I'm having the name of the list as L, len of L is going to return how many elements available in the stack. So if I'm making it as minus 1, it is going to return me back with the top index. So top is equal to len of L minus 1. So now I'm popping, the pop operation is being implemented here. When I'm popping an element, the last element which I have inserted will be the first one to come out. So pop 3, if I'm doing, it just means that I'm removing the last element. So in our Python language, in a list, if we wanted to remove a last element from the list, we have a method called pop. We have a function called pop, which is going to remove the last element from the list. So L.pop is going to directly remove the last element. So how to implement the pop operation with the list? If we are just calling the function L.pop, it is automatically going to remove the last element from the list. So this gives us the result of pop operation. My peak element, the element which is available in the top, is called as peak. My peak element right now is 2 and my top index is nothing but 1. So when I'm popping 2, so whatever is there at the top only can be popped out. And then now I'm popping 1. So as soon as I have popped out each and every element, I can see that element is getting removed. So when I have taken everything out from the stack, I don't have anything in the stack. So when I'm not having anything in the stack, and if I'm trying to delete or popping out any other element, when the stack is empty, it is called as underflow. You call that as underflow. When my stack has become full, for example, let us consider I have made these many elements to get inserted into the stack. I have pushed these many elements and it has reached the limit. For example, if my stack is having a limit and it has reached the limit, you cannot insert any other element. So this is called as overflow. This concept of adding an element when my stack has come to its full size, then it is called as overflow. Now in this particular slide, I have told you how to find the value of the variable top and how the pop operation is being done when I'm going to implement the same stack operation using a list, and what is the and there are two questions which I have asked here. As after you have listened to whatever I have told you right now, what is the element available at the top? What is the element available at the top? The one which is there, which is pointed by peak. How to find the element which is available at the top? You have the top index with you, right? So if I'm having L of top, I can tell the element which is available in the top. So top is the index which is going to tell us the where the element is available, and L is the name of the list. So L within the bracket, if I'm giving the index value of top, I can tell what is the element which is available at the top. So what is the value of the top? How can we find out? That is what I have told you. Top is equal to len of L minus 1. So what is the question in your mind? So how we are going to implement the stack operation in Python? So this is the Python program which is going to implement the stack operation. And here if you see the stack is being initialized to empty and top is equal to none. I have a variable called top, but I don't have any value for top right now because my stack is empty. And what does this mean? That I'm going to implement the concept of stack using a list. So I have just initialized it as a list and I'm having it ready. Now, what all the operations we are going to see is push, pop, peek, and display, and the last is exit. So if the user is going to the choice, it is going to call the function. For the function, whatever is required, it is getting prepared. Here we are going to get the input from the user and pass it as a parameter to the function. So here what are all the input we are getting and what is the operation which we are going to do is, here I am going to insert all the item details into the stack, and each and every item is going to contain its own number, name, and cost. As soon as I have received the item detail, I'm going to pass it as a parameter to the push function along with where it has to get stored. So where it has to get stored and what we are going to store, that will be passed as a parameter to the push function. So when this push function is being called, so now my stack is empty and I'm going to get the input of all these variables, item number, name, and cost, and I'm pushing it into the stack. It goes to this function directly and it is going to have STK and item. So this stack is being passed as a parameter here, and when I'm appending the item, this means that I'm going to push the item into the stack. This item is going to be a list. This item is also a list, and this STK is also a list. Now this item is going to become the first element within the list. It is going to be of nested list type. The list of elements, item number, name, and cost, all these is going to come and sit here when I have appended this particular item into the stack. So as I have said, how to find the top variable which is there available with the stack. So what is the length of the stack? -1 gives you the top index. Right now my length of the stack is 1. 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. So 0 is my top index. So I have just one element which has entered into the stack. So that is how the push operation is being implemented. Now, for example, if my choice is going to be 2, what happens? I'm going to delete an element. Let me have some 2 or 3 elements have got inserted into the stack, and I'm having some details over here. Item number 1, 2, and 3. 3 items I have pushed into the stack. Now I'm going to implement the pop operation. When my choice is equal to 2, and if I'm calling the pop operation, here the pop function is going to be called and it directly moves to this particular line. Here what is being checked? Whether I have some element inside the stack or not. If I'm having the element alone, I can make use of the function called pop. If the stack is empty and if I'm calling the pop function, it is going to throw an error. Before that, we have to have a check whether we are having the some elements which is available within the stack. So how to do that? So for that reason, we have a function over here, isEmpty of STK. So isEmpty function is going to check whether my stack is equal to empty. If my stack is empty, it is going to return true and it is going to print underflow and it will not move to this else part. If my stack is not empty alone, it will come to this else part. It is going to pop the element. So what is this pop operation going to do? Pop of in a list, when I'm accessing the pop operation, it is going to delete the element which is there, which has been added up at the last. The finally added element is going to get removed. For example, if these are the elements available in the list, if I'm making use of l.pop, it is going to delete my element which is 3 from the stack. The element 3 is going to get deleted. The pop function itself is going to do the job of deleting the last element from the stack. If the length of the stack is equal to 0, if I'm having only one element and if I'm calling this function pop, isEmpty of stack will be checked and it will return false. So it is going to come to the else condition because this is not empty. I have only one element. I have one element available in the stack and it is not empty. So it comes to the else condition and it is going to, so when this pop is executed, this particular element is going to get deleted and now my stack has become empty. When my stack has become empty, I need to initialize my top variable accordingly. So here also, whenever I have done the push operation, I have initialized the top variable. In the same way, when I am doing the pop operation, I have to initialize the top variable. So when I am initializing the top variable, in this case, when my stack is empty, my top will be none. The top value is going to be none because I don't have anything with the top variable. I can't tell it as 0 because 0 is also an index. I have to initialize it with none, means that I have the variable called top but it doesn't have any value with it right now. Now in the else part, I can tell that the length of the stack minus 1. For example, if I had 3 elements and if I'm popping out the second element from the element available in the second index is popped out, I can tell that the length of the stack is now 2. How can I tell that? By finding the length of the list minus 1, we'll be getting the value of top. So what is being returned here? Here I'm returning the item which is being popped out will be the return element, and it will be returned over here. This item contains the item which is being removed. And now if at all it is going to get stopped over here, I'll be having underflow as my return type. If my item is equal to underflow, whatever is the return type is equal to underflow, I'm going to print on the screen that the stack is empty. Otherwise, I'm going to tell that popped item, whatever item it is being popped as the item which is being taken out from the stack, that will be which is being returned here. Alright, so coming to the next choice, I'm going to find the element which is there available with the top. What is the element which is there in the top of the stack at any particular moment? How to retrieve that? So for that we have the function called peek. It is very simple and easy. As I have told you earlier, the name of the stack is stk, and what is the index value which I'm going to pass on to the stack? It is nothing but the top. So how to find the top value? Top is nothing but len of stack minus 1. Every time we'll be having top value as len of stack minus 1. Only thing when I'm going to have top as none is when my length of the stack is 0, I'll be having top value as none. Otherwise my top value is len of stack minus 1. Here also I'm going to check whether the stack is empty. If my stack is empty, I'm just going to return underflow. Otherwise I'll be telling that this is the particular element which is there available in the stack. So what is the fourth operation? I'll be displaying the stack. So here when I'm displaying stk, it is going to find whether it is empty or not. If it is empty, how the elements will be displayed from the stack? So we'll be just printing stack empty. Otherwise, how we are going to display the element in the stack is starting from the top position and ending with the 0th position, we are going to print all the elements from the stack. How to do that is start from the value of top. How to find the value of top? Len of stk minus 1, like how we did in each and every function, the same len of stk minus 1, and stk of top, we will be just printing the peek element alone in the beginning, and after printing the peek element, for example, I'm having 1, 2 and 3 in the stack. Firstly, I'll be printing 3 alone and indicating that it is the element in the top, and after which I'll be printing all the elements from the backwards. So 2 and 1 is going to get printed. How to print the element which is there before the top element? So top minus 1 is its index. Starting from top minus 1 index, if I'm putting it in a for loop, top minus 1 until the index 0, I need to specify it as minus 1. Only then it is going to stop with 0. I'm moving it in reverse order. So top minus 1, then top minus 2. It goes on until it is reaching 0. The last choice is break, and it is going to come out of the Python program. And if at all we are entering any other number other than these 5 numbers, it will become as an invalid choice and it is going to get printed on the screen. So that is how the complete stack operation can be implemented using the Python program. So in the next video, I'll be teaching you how you can expect a stack program in your board examination. So keep watching the video, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching.